So it's been a minute since my last video, and I know that I said I was going to try and get back into some kind of consistent upload schedule in January, but something happened at the start of the month that absolutely threw me off completely, and then college started ramping up, and so I'm not going to make promises anymore that video uploads will be consistent, but I am planning some videos, mainly stuff between Batwoman Season 2, WandaVision, Black Lightning and Superman Lois when they start up, Black Lightning starts very soon. Also maybe a few Expanse videos since Season 5 just ended. And of course I'm going to try and make some more S.H.I.E.L.D. videos, but that's going to be a little hard since there really isn't a whole lot to talk about since the show has been over for half a year now. But I'll definitely try and get some kind of more videos in that are like this one. But this is probably going to be kind of a short video because we don't know a lot about what was planned for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. final. Some of the stuff we do know a bit about is that there was apparently up to 20 minutes of footage removed from the final. Now, I'm one of the people who actually ended up being pretty damn satisfied with the very last episode. I would have liked to have seen some more returning characters or even some MCU stuff besides the Quantum Realm, but as a whole I was generally pretty happy with how they decided to close out the show. I never exactly got the impression that the episode felt rushed or that there were a lot of cutscenes, but obviously I'm very wrong about that because there are a lot of cutscenes. But I think that that's something that happens with every TV show's final. I don't think there's going to be a TV show final that doesn't have a lot of cutscenes or doesn't have everything they want in there. Because, you know, time restraints are a thing, and especially with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being a network show, 42 minutes, at least I think ABC is a network, but 42 minutes, you know, that's their limit. They don't have the freedom that Netflix or Disney Plus shows have when they can really be whatever your length suits the episode, so they had to cut stuff out. But some of the supposed cut 20 minutes involved scenes with almost every main character getting their goodbye with Deke. Now this definitely would have improved the final a little bit in my opinion, because the Deke leaving thing was one of the bits of the episode that did feel like they just talked about it for 1 minute and then he was already gone. They didn't really get time to have that moment breathe. Pacing wise, it would have been great to see these scenes, and also seeing a proper interaction between Fitz and Deke, especially after Deke did so much to protect Gemma over the past year, so that would have been great to see. Plus, Fitz has never exactly been nice to Deke, so it would have been nice to see Fitz finally appreciate Deke in the way he deserves. Another thing that was cut was more of the Gemma Fitz flashbacks. Now there actually is some pictures on set and of just how they've been in promos and stuff that show some of these scenes, but some of this would have involved Fitz showing Gemma how to build and construct the quantum tunnel that was a time machine. Now I definitely would not say no to this scene because more flashbacks of Gemma and Fitz would have been great, and in an ideal world we would have gotten an entire bottle episode focusing on Gemma and Fitz on the Zephyr for the time they are away, kind of like rewind from season 5 or 4,722 hours from season 3. It would be great to have seen an episode like that. That's what I kind of expected episode 7 of season 7 to be doing. They focused on Mac and Deke, but it wasn't exactly the same sort of thing. I felt that episode was a little bit different to what I expected, but I think that this scene would have been great to see, but I also don't think this scene would have been vital. And I don't think the episode suffered from not having this in it. Like, if scenes really needed to get cut, I don't exactly think this was a bad one to cut, because it didn't really add much. It was just kind of showing us more things we already knew, if that makes sense. Now, one of the biggest revelations, and one that I think almost every fan would have died to see, came in the shape of a direct reference to the snap. And this is the one scene besides the Fitz-Gemma stuff that we know from deleted scenes, or that we know from set pictures. This is the one scene that actually is concrete that definitely would have happened, because this came from Jed Whedon himself, who's the showrunner of the show. And he said this in an interview with the New York Times. So this scene was definitely going to happen, or maybe even did happen and was cut after filming. What Jed said was, some of the stuff they did with time travel in Endgame indicated that there are other timelines where other adventures are occurring. We're following the multiverse rule. The only way that someone survives Thanos' snap in the movies is to go into the quantum realm, and we originally did plan to give that a mention because we used the quantum realm to move between timelines, but it got cut for time. So this not only kind of confirms that Scott was really lucky that he was in the quantum realm. Like, he could have easily gotten snapped just like Janet, Hank and Hope. But on top of that, this also does kind of confirm that a lot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. later stuff takes place in a different timeline. But this would have been amazing for numerous reasons, but mainly because this could be the one thing that S.H.I.E.L.D. fans can point to when validity of MCU canon comes up. Yeah, seeing the quantum realm is cool and all, but that's a main construct throughout all of Marvel. A full-on mention of the snap is the only ammunition us fans would need to say, look, we're undisputedly canon. Now, Jed said it was cut for time, but I wouldn't say it's impossible that Kevin Feige or someone higher up came in and said, you can't say this, the quantum realm is the biggest reference you can do. And after all this information, it's basically been dark for the last few months. But we did get some new information in the past few days, mainly from Mark Kolpak, who is this VFX supervisor on the show, and he's always one of the main guys who gives the fans some juicy tidbits on Twitter. Before season 7 aired, he actually spoke on Twitter about how he was sure that the show addressed the snap in either season 6 or 7. Now, since the show ended and we hadn't heard a peep about the snap, that obviously wasn't the case. But some fans did start to wonder if maybe he just got confused and was thinking of the Thanos references in Infinity War. But considering we found out that a snap scene was originally planned, this does give some credibility to what Mark said. Now, season 7 was already a year after finishing filming when he said this, so the fact he was certain something was in there makes me think the snap reference might have been filmed and then dropped by someone higher up. But anyway, kind of got sidetracked there. But Mark came out and spoke on Twitter about some more cool stuff that we never got to see. Mainly that behind the scenes, the people working on the show considered themselves as Agents of S.W.O.R.D. way before the final. And I think it's pretty likely that the show could have actually seen a rebrand to Agents of S.W.O.R.D. as far back as season 5, but they were stopped by Marvel before they could. But one of the main bits of information Mark gave us was that in the final Sousa, Daisy and Cora scene where they're on board the Zephyr and out in deep space, Sousa was meant to actually name drop S.W.O.R.D., confirming what all of the fans believe, that the space team was meant to be a proper nod to S.W.O.R.D. Mark even said that he can't remember if it was shot or not, so we could possibly have a deleted scene out there in the wild where Sousa and Daisy confirm that they are Agents of S.W.O.R.D. And that's pretty freaking cool, so I hope we do get to see that someday. But yeah, that's pretty much everything we know that got covered in the final, and it's entirely possible I missed some stuff or don't know about something, so if that's the case, let everybody know in the comments. It's possible they just haven't actually mentioned anything of other cool scenes that were cut, like we don't have any evidence that there are other scenes that are cut, but there have been. But honestly, I don't think it's likely we'll see these scenes. Maybe not ever, but at least not for a long time. We could possibly at some point see the original draft of the final script, which I think that's actually maybe likely. At some point they'll give us a script. I know a lot of shows do that, like a lot of the Arrowverse scripts have been released over the years and whatnot. But if we get that script, it'll give us an idea of how these scenes would have went. And if we were ever to see these scenes, I do think that they'd come in the form of deleted scenes on a Blu-ray or DVD set for season 6 or 7, because they still haven't physically been released in most parts of the world. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Japan is actually the only territory to have a physical release of season 6, and even then if you were to order it from Japanese Amazon or their sites, I think it would work out as like $70 or $80 or euro, so it's pretty crazily priced compared to the other seasons, which are all around the €20 mark here. But the rest of us possibly won't ever even get them box sets released here due to Disney Plus, because that's where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that's where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s home is now, I guess. Whether the cut for time thing is legit or not, I think it's 90% definite that Marvel cut these scenes and not the people on the show, just because it's a little bit weird that all the stuff that was cut happens to be somehow related to the MCU or the larger Marvel world. But yeah, that's everything we know, and I'm going to try and get more videos out soon, hopefully some more S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, but no promises just in case. But I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you're having a great day and staying hydrated and staying safe, and if you did enjoy the video, then please remember to like, share and subscribe.